Hello. Welcome to this lesson where we're going to look at how we multiply and divide algebraic terms. This is something we did last year, but it's good for us to still go over it. First of all, we're going to look at some simple multiplication problems. Now here we can think of our algebraic terms in terms of the constant or the coefficient at the front, and also in terms of the variable. So here we want to consider the coefficients first and then the variables when we're multiplying. So what we can do is we go 2 times 4 and we're going to get 8, and then a, and there's no other variables here, so a just stays by itself. So we're going to get 8a. In the next one we've been given 3b times 2a times 4a. Now here it doesn't matter what order our algebraic terms are in. This would be exactly the same as if we had 2a first times then 3b times 4a. Yeah, so the order doesn't matter. That doesn't help us in this question, but it's something that's important to understand. That the order of that the terms are in when we're multiplying doesn't matter. It does matter when we divide. So we can't go something like 3 divided by 9a. That would be a totally different question. But when we multiply, we can swap them around. So here we're going to consider our coefficients first. So we have 2 times 3 gives us 6 times 4, and we get 24. So we're going to write 24. Because all of these are multiplied together, we can do that. Then we have a, we want to look at our variables at the end. We have a times b, and we can just write out our variables as they are. Now there is a way that we can condense this even more, and we want to be doing this. And you may have noticed that we have a times a. Now when we have something multiplied by itself, we can then write that as squared, or to the power of 2. So this would then become 24 a squared b. And now that's as simple as this answer will go. Next we go to divide. And as I said before, we can't reorder the way things are. And it's often helpful to rewrite these in a fraction form. And I'm also going to rewrite it with our coefficients and our variables in different colors. So if we write it with our coefficient in green and our variable in orange, and then that's over 3, this helps us because we can cancel out our coefficients and we can cancel out all of our variables. Now in this case there's no other variables, so we're going to keep the a. And this is just like you would cancel down a fraction in normal maths. So here we see the 3 and we see 9, and we know that both of them have a factor of 3. So we can take our 3 out there, and that's going to give us 1, and divide 9 by 3, and that gives us 3. So this then will become 3a all over 1, but we don't need to leave it over 1. Because over 1 just means the same thing as 3a. Finally we get to this question. And again I'm going to rewrite it as a fraction because that just helps us when we're cancelling down. So first of all we're concerned with our coefficients and then our variables. This is the same. Okay. Notice how I'm writing equals with each of these new steps. This is something that we want to get into the habit of in high school maths because we want to be setting out our proofs very logically. So you should be writing each of your steps like this. Now we have 12 divided by 4, and we know, hopefully, that we can divide them both by 4, and we're going to get 3. Then we have our variables over here. There's no a down the bottom, so we keep our a, but there's a b in both spots, so we can cancel out our b's. Now if we rewrite our fraction, we're going to get 3a over 1, which again we can write as 3a. So that's some examples of how we do these questions. Now I'd like you to have a go at these ones.